Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. And it's Thursday night, and another week has passed, and I got a great show scheduled, and I got a great guest lined up to be on. If you saw the promo post, it's Dwayne Hunt. He's an experienced drone pilot from North Carolina. He's actually my cousin. And tonight we're broadcasting from his beautiful home in Oak Ridge, North Carolina. But anyway, we'll tell you a little more about that maybe later in the show. But I tell you, thank you all for tuning in. And we got a great show lined up. You're going to hear an interesting story. And hopefully everybody will learn a little something from it. But anyway, it took me about 5 years to get Dwayne involved with drones. I kept hounding him, or suggesting to him, I should say, that he should go out and buy a drone. And he finally did 3 years ago. He bought the Mini 2, and he got some experience flying that. And then I talked him into coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. And last year he came down and he won one of the top prizes. And it wasn't rigged, We have a security system when we pull those raffle tickets, and but he won the second best prize, a DJI Mini 2 aerial bundle drone. But anyway, let me say hello to a few people, and I really appreciate you tuning in tonight. It means so much to me. Really, I can't say enough. Thank you. But anyway, I know I saw Dewey. He's watching all the way in Ireland. How you doing? Good to see you. And Brian, Waypoint, New England. How you doing, Brian? And I know I saw Paul Brown, and Scott, Jackrabbit FPV. How you guys doing? And Uncle Bill's Toys. Bill Ronayne is watching. Thank you, Bill. Good to see you. And we got Hot Rod in Daytona watching. Good to see you, Rod. And we got Dominic, Northside Hawk. He's watching all the way in Australia. So thank you, guys. And John Flynn's watching. He's up in Michigan. Good to see you. And we got Marcus Perfect, a drone celebrity watching. He's watching out in Idaho. He's Idaho quadcopter. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. And without further ado, I want to introduce my special guest. He's my cousin, and he's sitting right alongside me. So I'm going to say, give a warm welcome to Dwayne Hunt. He's coming to us all the way from North Carolina.
Good to be here.
Yeah, and he's kind of shy. I think this is his first live stream.
It definitely is.
He does Zoom calls sometimes at work, but this is his first live stream. So Dwayne, what do you think about flying drones? I know it took you a while to get used to it.
I enjoy it. Don't get to do it as much as I'd like, but I do enjoy doing it. So it's a lot of fun. Fortunately, I moved to a place where it's a little bit easier to do it now than it was before.
Yes, his old home in Greensboro, North Carolina, it was in a restricted area, and you really couldn't even fly. It was a zero grid area. And now he moved to Oak Ridge, a little further away. And now he can get Lance approval and fly up to 400 feet where he's living, but you still need Lance approval. And I was out in his yard flying earlier today with his grandson, Max, and I was showing Max how to fly a drone. He's 4 years old, right?
It's 4. Yeah.
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 But anyway, I can tell he's going to be a future drone pilot.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, what did you think about coming to the South Florida drone meetup?
Well, I was there last year, and I had a great time. I thought it was awesome. It was some really nice people I had met. You know, it was really nice. It was a beautiful day, and yeah, it was cool seeing all the different drones and different people. A couple of seminars on some.
And we had another seminar, editing photography seminar this year. You missed it this year. He was busy at work. He was very busy at work at the time. He couldn't make it. But Jeff Norman gave an awesome editing photography seminar. And, you know, we had the same thing. You know, we had some entertainment. We had a guitar player there, and he was singing. Dennis, the fellow who plays the ukulele, he was in China. He did a 6-week trip. He's still there, as far as I know, in China. But anyway, we set the record for the most drones flying in the sky. We ended up having 28 drones flying at one time.
And no casualties.
Nope, no casualties. Yeah, no casualties. But anyway, so Dwayne, I know that you had that aerial bundle and you had a few flights with it originally.
Yes.
So tell us your experience with that drone that you won at the South Florida drone meetup.
I've had several really good experiences with it. Took it camping last year and had a great time with it. But we just moved out to Oak Ridge, and I decided to put it up in the air to mark my field lines from my septic system. And tree jumped out, kind of took it down on me, and I was not able to turn it off quickly enough and beat the living hell out of it, to be honest. So having a little issue with it. Don't know if I'll get it repaired or replaced. So I'm flying my old drone again.
Yeah, well, you just happen to have it here. Can you show everybody what it looks like now?
Well, it snapped back together somewhat, but there's quite a bit of nose damage here. The gimbal's messed up.
Yeah.
A little crack in the
camera. Get a little crack up here, you know. But now, you know, the price of these drones are so inexpensive now. You might just want to replace it with a new drone rather than try to get it repaired. If anybody has any questions for Dwayne or myself, you know that we welcome the questions. And Jackrabbit's saying, yeah, he was flying a Mini 2 and one grabbed his and threw it right into a fire.
Oh, geez.
Because, you know, you have that updraft.
Right. Yeah.
And it ended up going right into a fire.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He's, and I remember Scotty, when he first told that story, where he said, oh my God, you know, unbelievable. Hey, the Probe Cut, how you doing? Good to see you. And, I mean, everybody has drone stories, and we weren't trying to embarrass Dwayne, that's for sure. But again, it goes right along with our tip of the week. So always, you know, check your surroundings, you know, especially trees.
Yeah, branch just jumped out in front of me.
Yeah. But anyway, I know one time I was doing a master shot, and I had forgot that master shot brings the drone sort of around, and I didn't set the height right, and it would have crashed right into my condo if I didn't cancel it. So always check your surroundings when you're flying. All right, Dwayne, we got the first question from Paul Brown for you. And he's saying, what was it that finally made you jump and fly a drone?
Well, actually, Ray probably. He kept asking me, and I went with him a couple of times to see him do it. And I thought it was cool. And then I have a place up in the mountains on a river, and I thought that would be like the ultimate place to take some video. So that's when I bought my first one and went up there and took some video on the river.
Yeah, right, right. When I first showed him, I had a Phantom 4 drone, and I flew it. And he has a beautiful mountain home on the Watauga River.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there were a lot of trees. Believe me, I was afraid. I figured for sure I'm going to hit one of these trees, but I kept it nice and low and slow. You remember that flight?
And you're getting some lift off of the river more than you think.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was moving it around.
But anyway, hey, Ronnie, I think I said hello to you earlier. How you doing? Good to see you. And we have another comment from Scotty, Jackrabbit, Dwayne. I want you to tell a young Ray story. You got any good stories?
I don't know if I should do that. But I can tell you, he did teach me how to swim. He threw me in the pool, and that's how I learned how to swim.
Yep, that's how he learned. We got him learning. Yeah, and I think he was like 3 years old. He was 3 years old, you know. Yeah, I tell you. But I went in right after I threw him in, and it was, you know, you could stand there. It was only 3 feet of water, but
I was only a foot tall. So.
He swam right to the side. So, and then there was another time. He's 3 years old, and if anybody knows about Jones Beach on Long Island, and I don't see anybody from Long Island in the chat, but there's a high dive board about 10 feet up, one of those high dives we called it. He had an older brother, 2 years older than him, and Dennis, that was his brother's name. He jumped off on his own. He didn't need no prodding. But Dwayne, at 3 years old, needed some prodding. Come on, Dwayne, go up there. Go up there. And just as he's ready to jump off, his mother comes in and is looking for him. Where is he? And I point up. He's up on the high board. And he jumped in off the high board at 3 years old. So how's that story? Is that a good story? Yep. So anyway, yeah, Dwayne and I, you know, he's like my brother, really. You know, we grew up in the same household, and we had a lot of good times together. But I'm so glad he's flying drones now, really. And
I'm not flying much right now.
He's definitely going to look out for trees, that's for sure. But anyway, Scotty says, I did a belly flop off a high dive, and it damn near killed him.
You do that.
So, and yep, thank you. I appreciate that, Paul. You know, you always remember Dennis, justice for Dennis Westenhoff. And if anybody in the chat's not familiar with that case, I don't want to bring the live stream down, but just go to that Facebook page. And if you're not subscribed to it, please subscribe to it. And hopefully one day, that's my old partner in narcotics. He was murdered, and they haven't made an arrest in the case yet. So just take a look at that page and find out a little history about it, and join that page if you can. So, but anyway, yeah, so I'm here for 3 days with Dwayne. Today we're at his beautiful new home. And then tomorrow we're going to go to his other beautiful home in the mountains in Boone, North Carolina. And we'll fly drones there too, right?
Yep. Yep.
At least that's our plan.
On the river, it's maybe go down to the park there. Actually, they kicked us out last time, so I guess we're not going to the park. But there are some other places to go. Yeah, yeah. And he's got a beautiful, beautiful location there, really. It's called the Watauga River, and there's great fishing in the river too. I might say that I've caught some nice trout there. Yeah. You know, and Dwayne has caught some nice trout, and we have a good time when we go there, really. But anyway, I got this one picture. We were debating whether to have Max here or not. Being that he's 4 years old, he is full of energy. But anyway, I was outside and I was teaching Max how to fly a drone today, and he
he just couldn't wait. He wanted to control the drone so bad, really. And I had to hold the controller, otherwise that my Mavic 3 might have hit a tree today. But he was getting a big kick out of it flying. So I was so glad to see that he wanted to
had a
go
blast.
flying with me. So, hey, Leonard, how you doing, Leonard? Good to see you. And really, we're going to fly again maybe tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know. What time are we leaving tomorrow, Dwayne? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. Our place we can get any time, but the other two that we rented out have like a 3:00 check-in, and I think some of the other relatives are coming in later in the day. We got to pick them up at the airport, so my guess is early afternoon.
Yeah. All right. And what we're doing in North Carolina, I don't know if anybody remembers, but we're having a celebration of life. We had lost our two cousins recently, back in January, and they both died within a week of each other. But they loved Dwayne's cabin. They used to go there on vacation, and that's where they requested their remains be released. So we're going to release them there, just like we did last September, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So that's what we'll be doing. That's part of this long weekend with our family. But we'll have a good time doing it.
We will.
You know, a lot of good memories.
And I need to check the burnt tins.
Yeah. Well, Dwayne, just to let you guys know, Dwayne is actually cooking some barbecue now, because he's going to bring some homemade barbecue, North Carolina barbecue, to the cabin with us. And he was cooking it earlier, and it looked delicious, really. So I'm going to more or less say he's a pretty good chef too. He really knows how to cook barbecue. And we're in North Carolina. Right now we're in Oak Ridge, North Carolina. And tomorrow we'll be going to Boone, North Carolina, in the mountains. Hey, Ron Johnson, how you doing? Good to see you. Yep. And yes, Boone is where the college is. Yeah. His daughter actually went to college there. She graduated, and she went on for a master's there, and she came back home to Greensboro here. And she has a very good job doing counseling. And now it's just a good vacation home. And he also rents it out, by the way, just to let people know. He rents it by the week, and when he wants to use it, he books himself in. So that's pretty good, you know. And I remember I used to do that with my townhouse I had in Kissimmee, Florida, back in the 80s. And I know that some of you guys weren't even born in the 80s, but we used to have a townhouse, and it was 7 miles from Disney World. And if we wanted to use it, we booked it, you know. So, yep. So 2.5 hours from you. All right. Okay. Yep. It's northern. You know where it is. Now, where are you, Pro Cut? What town are you in? But no, right now I'm in Oak Ridge, right next to Greensboro. Yeah, Leonard. And my cousin used to live in Greensboro, and about 6 weeks ago he moved to this beautiful home in Oak Ridge, North Carolina, right next to Greensboro. Hey, Joe, how you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Yep. And Kodak, Tennessee. All right. So you're in Tennessee. I got you. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I should be home by the week. Well, Monday. The plan is to stay here until Sunday and head to New York on Monday. So I should be home on Monday. In New York, that is. So, but I tell you, it's one of those things where when I come to a different area that I'm not familiar with, I look for other drone pilots to fly with. And my cousin's sort of a loner. He flies by himself, and he knows a couple of spots in Greensboro. And we, again, fly in his backyard in Boone, because it's a cool place to fly. It really is. The only thing, again, we mentioned about the trees earlier. There's so many trees there. I'm sort of uncomfortable flying there, and you definitely have to be careful. But it's great flying in different areas that you're not familiar with. And I try to find it on Google Map, different areas. But I don't know if you guys saw on my way here, I had stopped at the Buc-ee's in Daytona Beach. And I said, well, let me see if I can send the drone up, and it was busy. There's cars and people going in and out of there. But I ended up going behind the Buc-ee's in the back there, and I figured that's a good place to take off from and get some shots, and that's exactly what I did. And it was cool. It was cool. And if anybody's been to a Buc-ee's, you know what I'm talking about, because it's the coolest gas station, supermarket I've ever been to, really. And the barbecue that they have at Buc-ee's is delicious, really. So if you haven't been to a Buc-ee's, be sure to stop if you ever pass one. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good flight. Definitely. And I was going to do a hyperlapse, and then I decided against it because I didn't want to waste that much time doing it. And I regret that I didn't do it. I should have did a hyperlapse there. That would have been cool. I know Billy Kyle had done one a while back when he was either coming to the South Florida drone meetup or on his way home from the South Florida drone meetup. And the hyperlapse that he did was incredible. Really. Hey, Mio Drone 4K, good to see you. ¿Cómo está? So, un poquito español. But, yep, Buc-ee's is great. Definitely. Yep. I haven't tried those cinnamon rolls. I haven't tried them, but I will try them. And we got the banana bread. We picked up 8 loaves of banana bread. So, and if you haven't tried the banana bread there, it's great too. But let's get back to drones. I wish I could talk about the Avata 2, because that seems to be the hot thing right now. And we got Steve Jones in the house now. How you doing, Steve? Good to see you. Hope all is well. And I hope your headquarters move went well, and you're all getting settled in your new police headquarters. So let us know. Let us know in the chat if you can. I know you're busy. Maybe you're working. But anyway, thanks for popping in. And we got Captain Joe in the house. How you doing, Captain Joe? Good to see you. Thank you for watching. Yes, yeah, ants, definitely. Yep. I mean, the one that Billy Kyle put up really, really impressed me. Definitely. Paddle tails. Oh, okay. The paddle tails, pastry. All right. I've never heard of them. Well, that's good to know. And RJ, Ron, he got some good shots of Buc-ee's. Yep, too. Yeah, you were there today, right, Ron? Or yesterday? I know I saw a post from you. And and before I forget, because sometimes I forget who to tell you who my guest is going to be on the show next week. And next week, Paul Brown is going to be on the show as my special guest, along with his two sons, Benjamin and Paul Jr. And I'm looking forward to having them on the show because they also fly drones. And I love it when, okay, so it's still a work in progress. Okay, Steve, thanks for the update. I know it's a major thing when you're moving police headquarters and offices. I know when I was in the special victims unit, we had moved our office. We went from headquarters and they put us into a precinct and we had to move everything to the precinct, case files and all of that. And I couldn't imagine what it is moving into a new headquarters. But anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward to having Paul Brown and Benjamin and Paul Jr. on the show. There's no doubt it's going to be a great show. And thank you, Paul, for being on with your two sons. That's a big focus that I have and Johnny has, and the South Florida Drone Meetup is to get children involved in flying drones. And my saying, let's get kids hooked on drones, not drugs. So, and I'm hoping I can get this picture because it seems like it's a good picture. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh my Lord, that's going to be the new police headquarters. I guess that's the new police headquarters, Steve. Let us know in the chat because it's an interesting picture to say the least. Very nice. So, but anyway, I can't talk about the Avata 2, but it seems like everybody and their brother are buying the Avata 2. And I know quite a few people in the chat have it. I haven't heard one bad thing about it yet. So, yeah. So RJ was at Buc-ee's today. Yep. So, and I forget which one you stopped at. I think it was one in Georgia. I forget now what state you were in. Or was it Florida? Maybe Florida. So, but, and I almost stopped. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Santee Cooper on 95. It's a pretty big bridge when you go across that waterway there. And a couple of years ago, I had stopped to fly that area, and we stayed overnight there. But hey, David Lorenzo, how you doing? We got a drone superstar watching. Good to see you, David. Yep. And Andrew's watching. Good to see you, Andrew. So, but anyway, back to the Santee Cooper. I was going to fly, and I was a wimpy flyer in them days. This was like 2 years ago. And I sent the drone up, and I sort of lost sight of it because some trees were actually blocking my view of it. And I'm watching the screen as I'm flying, and I just felt very, very uncomfortable. And I know you experienced drone pilots have since taught me to have no fear. And even if you can't see your drone, just, concentrate on where it is on the screen. And I've learned to sort of master that now. Don't misunderstand me. I still get nervous, but I'm a lot better at it than I was a couple of years ago. But today I decided to just keep going and bypass Santee Cooper. And then we started seeing some signs for south of the border. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that location on 95 with Pedro, the big giant sombrero, and Pedro. And that's a cool place to fly. And a couple of years ago, I had stopped there also on a return trip to New York. And I sent my Air 2S, I think. Air 2S I was flying then. It might have been my Maverick 3. I forget now. But I sent it up and I flew Pedro, the Sombrero Tower, out south of the border. And that was cool. And I remember that, Paul. I do remember Chris flying there. And he ended up hitting his crotch trying to fly through his legs, if I remember right. Yeah. But it's a cool place to fly, and like I said, we used to stop there when we used to drive back and forth to Florida, and you could always get some good souvenirs there. Hey, Gary, how you doing, Gary? Good to see you. And Angel's in the chat now. How you doing, Angel? Good to see you. Mark R. White, how you doing? But anyway, then we saw another sign for another Buc-ee's as we were driving north, going up to North Carolina. And it turns out south of the border was just a little beyond the cutoff I had to take to go to Oak Ridge, North Carolina. So we decided against that, and we stopped at Buc-ee's again up there in Florence. There's a Buc-ee's in Florence, South Carolina. And obviously I got fuel, there's like 100. I didn't count how many gas pumps were at this one, but usually there's 100 or so gas pumps. So I topped off the tank again. And obviously my wife was in there shopping again, and I had to track her down and drag her out of there. But anyway, we bought some more barbecue for our lunch later in the day. And we had another good time at Buc-ee's. So, and I tell you, it was just a great ride, a great trip. This trip going to North Carolina. And Paul, John, Connecticut Pirates in the house. How you doing, John? Good to see you. And I look forward to flying with you when I get settled in New York. Maybe that following week, and we'll pick a date, and I'll come over on the ferry, and you can show me your secret spots. I'm looking forward to, he lives over by the Milford River or Milford Harbor, if I remember right. So I'm looking forward to if he takes me there. I don't know where he's going to take me, but I'm looking forward to flying there. Hey, Gary, okay. Dinner's on. All right. Okay. Hopefully you're having something good for dinner. And like I said, we're going to have pizza. Well, I didn't say. We decided to have pizza tonight. And there's a pizza place. Not as good as the New York pizza, but my cousin has a nice pizza place here. And we're having pizza. Yes, I'm a Buc-ee's fan, definitely. We've been going there for 2 years now. We started two years ago. We hit the St. Augustine one, and we love Buc-ee's. Yep. So, and yeah, Milford Harbor. Right. Okay, cool. Very good. Very good, John. Is your boat in the water yet? Let me know if your boat's in the water. Maybe we'll get some shots of your boat at the dock or wherever you keep it. And Steve was at Buc-ee's today, a couple of hours ago. Yep. Okay. Now, Steve, is that one right in Baytown? You have a Buc-ee's right in Baytown, or is it in a different town? So, yep, the burnt ends. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, anyway, we don't have any Buc-ee's on the way to Boone, so we won't be stopping there. But our plan, and my cousin and I discussed it already, is to stop at the North Wilkesboro Raceway. A couple of years ago, we had stopped there, and the groundskeeper had chased us away. I don't know if a lot of you guys know Mike Kinney we were meeting Mike Kinney there, and he got there early, and he flew it. Hey, Michael Belshi, good to see you. How you doing? But anyway, we got there about 20 minutes later. Michael had finished his flight, but as soon as we pulled in, the groundskeeper, security saw us, and he said, "You guys can't fly drones." Yeah. And if you don't leave, I'm calling the sheriff on you. So we decided the best thing to do was leave, and we left. And we went to another location and flew drones, and we had a good time, the three of us. So Lindenhurst on the hard for the season. I'm going to be all drone trips and home. Okay, home. All right, that sounds good, John. Yeah. So, oh, really? You live that close? You can see Buc-ee's? That's amazing. That's cool. So if you can see it, you can fly to it right from where you are. Yep. Very, very cool. Yeah. Okay. So the Buc-ee's is in Baytown, Texas. So that's cool. Yeah. And I know Buc-ee's is like a big thing today. I called my financial advisor, and I wanted to know if the stock was public because I was ready to buy some stock if it was, but it turns out it's not public. It's private. So you can't buy stock in Buc-ee's, but they are popping up all over the country. Yeah, definitely. All over the country. We're getting one in Fort Pierce, Florida, and hopefully it'll be open in time for next year's South Florida Drone Meetup. But I don't know. They're going to have to build it quick for it to be ready by next April. But the plans have been approved, and we're looking forward to having our own Buc-ee's right there in Fort Pierce. So yes, and it's funny, Steve. You mentioned about the bathrooms, and you'll never guess what I took a picture of. This is the entryway going into the men's and ladies' room at Buc-ee's. They got these custom-made wooden American flags as you go in, and they are spotless once you go in to the bathrooms themselves. I mean, the cleanest bathrooms I've ever been in, really. So, yep. Okay. Wawa was the killer subs. Yes, I remember that. Wawa. And they're good too, really. I speak highly of Wawas. So, but, okay. Yep. He stopped. Yep. He had a wrap at Wawa. I guess you're talking about, right, Ronnie? Wawa? Yep. So, very, very cool. So, yeah, that's the bathroom. I know, but those wooden American flags are still not as nice as Ronnie's and Bob Casey's, as far as I'm concerned. So, and I know I've been mentioning it. I mentioned it last week on the live stream that Ronnie, God bless America, has agreed to sponsor next year's South Florida Drone Meetup with another donation of one of his beautiful Betsy Ross custom wooden flags. So thank you to Ronnie. And Bob Casey followed him. And last night he had mentioned he's doing the same thing with his custom-made wooden American flags. He's going to donate it to our 5th annual South Florida Drone Meetup. So thank you to you both, really. And I got to say thank you to all our sponsors. I'm sure we'll have a lot of repeat sponsors, but the South Florida Drone Meetup wouldn't be the same without our sponsors, really. But the most important thing about the South Florida Meetup is that you all come. And you know who you are. I don't have to start reading off the names, but we have over 70 people signed up for the 2025 South Florida Drone Meetup already. And yeah, okay, Scott, you're number 21. We won't tell Rick. So, but no, Scotty's really number 22. Rick Williamson wants to be number 21 because that was his car racing number. For those who didn't know it, um, um, Rick Williamson was a race car driver in his former life. And even, I had a chance to talk to him about that at the South Florida Drone meetup. And then we were talking about that, and he wanted to be number 21 on the list. So he got number 21, and Scott is number 22. So, and Andrew, no, I'm not number one. Nope. Christopher John couldn't make it this year, and he said, please put me down for number one on next year's meetup list. And Christopher John is number one for next year's meetup list. And then we put the drone committee next. And I offered Gary his number 6 again, but he wasn't ready to commit just at that time. So Gary's going to be well up there now because he hasn't definitely given me a commitment that he's coming. But we're up over 70 people. So okay. Let's see. I got the list right in front of me. I got to start checking numbers. Let's see. Where's the list? 5th annual. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Rick Williamson, number 21. Michael Belshi, you're number 28. Yep. No, Jay Bird, I don't know. Did you give me a commitment? Because Paul Brown's number 15. All right, so you need it. You didn't give me a commitment. You coming back yet? If you're coming back, I'll give you your number now. And it'll be number 68. All right, so you'll be number 68. All right, so thank you. And it's everybody. This list started to be as a joke at one time. And I kept it. I used to keep it on that legal pad that I had everybody sign in on, and then I updated it to the iPhone, and it's on my iPad. And now people want their custom numbers, so it's pretty cool. We have a good time doing it. And no, Ron Johnson's number 37. Let's see where you are. Oh my God, don't tell me this list is all messed up. Let's see. Okay. Or am I listening? Okay. It's hard to keep track. It really is. But anyway, I'll get back to the list very shortly again, and I'll double check everybody's number. Okay. No, you're down already. I know that. Yep. Okay. Let's see. I know I had put you down, Pro Cut. I think you're number 67. I remember that. And I'm looking at it right now. So, all right. Okay. So, you told me in person, but I didn't have it in my list at the time, Joe. So I apologize. Okay. All right. I'm glad you're coming back. And I guess your wife and daughter are coming back too. All right. I'm going to put them down. And that'd be 69 and 70. All right. Good. Thank you. But like I said, we got custom numbers now. People wanted, obviously, 107. You know who that is. And 108. That's Barkley and Jenna. So they got those numbers again. And 14, 23, 835, 646. Yeah. But anyway, it's all about having fun. The whole South Florida Drone meetup is to fly for fun, have a good time. And we definitely have a good time. So, Bill, you have a number? Of course you have a number. You're on the drone committee. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You're number 4, Bill. You're number 4. So, um, but anyway, and again, we spoke very highly of Bill last night, and I'm going to do it again now. Bill stepped up big time this past year for the South Florida Drone Meetup. He ended up sponsoring him and Sticks Billiard Club. Ended up sponsoring our meet and greet again, and they donated again two $50 gift certificates, and they ended up giving us time on the billiard tables again, and we had discounts if anybody wanted to play bowl. But then, Bill really put out a awesome spread for us. He even fed us. If you went hungry, you didn't leave hungry, that's for sure. And thank you again, Bill. And please thank Sticks, the owners of Sticks and Stewart Bowl also. Because that meet and greet is just a great night. It really is. So, but anyway, Bill wanted to be number 2. I think Johnny was number 2, though, Bill. If I switch it now, his feelings will get hurt. But you could be number 2 next year. The following year. So, but anyway, apparently, let's see, what's this? No, the bill for pizza was covered. I think we told you, everybody, that Pilot Institute picked up the bill for our pizzas. They sponsored our lunch, and Bill was reimbursed. He was gracious enough to end up joining Sam's Club so we could get that discount on those pizzas. But I thought they were pretty good myself. And then Bill went and picked them up and delivered them, and it was great. Oh, look at this. John, Connecticut Pirate, wants to be 26 or 65 in 2026. All right, we'll discuss it, John, when I come over and fly with you. All right. So, all right. So we got a commitment from Paul too. Very, very good, Paul. Thank you so much. All right. So we're gonna have different color pens this year. And Paul, your pens are such a big hit. They really are. So thank you again for sponsoring the South Florida Drone Meetup. And I'm trying to keep up with the comments. This is interesting because usually you have a guest also, and they're reading the comments. And I know my cousin was very, very shy. I had to really bribe him into coming on tonight because he was trying to bail out in the worst way. And he was coming up with all kind of feeble excuses not to be on, like he's cooking barbecue, So, but anyway, I was glad he decided to come on, because I remember how nervous I was when I did my first live stream. Oh my God, I was in and out in like 3 minutes. I don't know. And I just got so nervous. I couldn't do it. And I just said, hello to everybody, listen for a few minutes. And I said, I got to go, guys. So, oh yeah, High Hook. I mentioned it last night, Bill, on the Fly for Fun show. Bill was the high hook on the fishing trip. Bill caught 20 fish. He don't want to put it in the chat. He don't like to brag, but he is quite the angler. Bill Ronayne, really, he was catching one after another. I was making a video out of this, but I got so tired of filming Bill every time he was reeling up a fish, because I wanted to show other people catching fish too. But he had a good time, and we all had a good time on the boat this year. And it was way too windy to fly while the boat was out in the ocean. And I had decided to fly while I was still at the dock before we left the dock. So I got my flight in right at the dock, and I'll be posting that eventually. I'm just so far behind in my editing right now. And it's it's terrible when you get so far behind. You almost want to give up. So, and it's one of those things where RJ loves his pen, and I know I love mine. I really do. You know, they write well. The stylus works good. You know, when you're searching for things on your iPad or whatever, or your iPhone, they really work good. So, yep, editing, right? I used to enjoy editing, but I do get stressed out when I fall behind. Um, I've learned now to use light cut and make my certain videos a lot shorter now because I was one of those guys that used to make 5 to 10 minute videos usually. And I know it's almost a waste because most people don't watch your videos that long. So I've been cutting mine back to under 5 minutes now, but I've been posting a lot of shorts too. And Instagram, I've been posting on Instagram also. Somebody had told me that's a good way to get your videos some exposure. So, but anyway, guys, I don't want to end up forgetting to do the contest for the monthly drawing, the $10 Amazon gift card. So now would be the time to put in your lucky numbers between 1 and 50, and we'll see who name will go in the hat for the lucky number. Who gets the lucky number? And I don't see it yet, but I could give a hint if it goes on too long. But it looks like Scotty got it. Scotty got it. Number 44, Hank Aaron's number. So, Scott, your name is going to go in the hat for the $10 Amazon gift card. I'll draw it next live stream, the beginning of next month. And hopefully you'll win it or one of the other guys who guessed it in the previous weeks. But anyway, congratulations, Scott. It's always fun to do the contest. And I tell you, the hour goes by so quick, guys. It really does. And I know I debated even to have the live stream tonight, being that I'm at my cousin's home, because it's sort of rude doing this. But he understands, and I knew he would be an interesting guest if I had him on. And he was gracious enough to even show his damaged Mini 2, you know, and it took quite a bit of damage. Look at that. There's a crack up there, and it's all cracked over here, you know. I guess, and he showed me the tree it hit. It was a hard hit, apparently. But what happened is it ended up going on the ground, and it kept running. So it kept like flipping and flipping while it was on the ground even, and causing more damage. But anyway, I want to say thank you to Dwayne for being on and sharing his story, because I found it very interesting. And sometimes trees can spoil your day, you know? So just watch out for those trees. But anyway, guys, I got to say thank you to everybody who watched the show tonight. Really, it means so much to me. And I look forward to getting back to New York next week. I'll be back in my office in New York, and I look forward to flying there. And I already have plans to fly in Port Jefferson with some people, Port Jefferson Harbor. And I know John Olson and myself have agreed to fly together. And I know Rob Kamada, we got a secret location that we're going to. the weekend after I get back. And I hope to fly with Stevie Bronx, upstate. I want to go upstate, and maybe he'll show me some of his secret spots upstate. So I got a lot of things planned when I get back to New York. But the most important thing is, I promote, get out there and fly for fun. If you got the Part 107, go out and make some money, get some jobs. And, my hat goes off to you guys that have done it, and you do it professionally. I mean, Paul Brown has got a big thing going. If everybody follows Paul and the United States Drone Society, you know what that is. And that's he's going partners with Plymouth Rock TV on a drone channel. So I wish I knew more about it, because then I'd share more knowledge, but it's not my place to share anyway. But watch the United States Drone Society at 8:00 on Sundays, because this is going to be a big thing when he starts doing that. But anyway, it's Thursday night, and I got to get back to my company. So everybody have a good night tonight. And like I said, Paul is my guest next week with his two sons, Benjamin and Paul Jr., and I look forward to having them on the show. But most importantly, get out there and fly safely. But get out there and fly. The weather's changing. It's really becoming nice. So don't waste those days. And Tony, how you doing, Tony? If you were in earlier, I'm sorry I missed your name, but thank you for popping in. Good to see you. Always good to see you. And John Kay, I don't know if I said hello to you earlier or not, so thank you for popping in too. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you again next week. All right. Have a good